Hey, hey, hey. It's Wednesday,
All day.
November 16th, 2022, and the greatest SEC show after dark starts now. It's SEC
Yes.
After Dark, guys.
Right
Jake Thomas, Jeb Beecham, Stephen Willis, our voice of God, Becky Willis, Cassidy on the social media and the chat. At
Killing
SEC,
it, by the way.
Absolutely killing it. At SEC_after_dark. Just killing the social media ways more so than I could ever. At Coach Burton 36, at the Stephen Willis, at Stolen Grin, and at Jake Thomas TTS. You can find us on social media. Please find us, subscribe. Y'all's Conference Network at YCN_SEC on social media. Find us on YouTube. Subscribe at Locked On Ole Miss. Bleav In Georgia Dawgs. Tide Talk Live. Jake is just a dude wearing orange. And that's okay. We've got a lot to talk about here tonight on the show. We got some stuff happening in Auburn. We got the college football playoff rankings that have great debate and much, much more. We got some great matchups. I'm just trying to sell it at this point, but we really don't have any great matchups. But I might pick a few bonus games here, but we are brought to you by betonline.ag. Basketball is back. BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting needs this season. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, game trends at BetOnline. As your continued source for all sports wagering information, BetOnline continues to be your number one source for live betting, free contests, and giveaways all season long. It's always the fastest and easiest way to bet all your favorite sports and events, whether that's NFL, NBA, NHL, college basketball, college football, golf, boxing, MMA, all of the above, boxing, you name it, you can bet on it. Apparently there were some pretty good basketball games happening right now, so that's exciting if you're a basketball fan. I'm not really a basketball fan, but it's exciting nonetheless. So head to betonline.ag to join. Receive your 50% welcome bonus with your first deposit. Make sure you use that promo code Bleav, that's BLEAV, to receive your rewards. BetOnline, it's where the game starts. Jake, you seemed pretty fired up when thinking about this Auburn head coaching search. Cadillac Williams seems to be the right candidate in your mind. Why is that? Why is it Coach Caddy?
All right, you're going to give me 5-10 minutes here because I got a long list to explain here.
All right, go.
All right. So,
and you can join in on the chat. Subscribe to our YouTube
chat.
channel. Jump in and throw some notes in there.
Yeah,
go.
But I'm going in between. I'm going back to Alabama and some of their stuff too. But in 1992, Alabama won the national championship. 1993, we went 8-3, but we had a corner, one of our defensive backs in that time period, Antonio Langram. He signed early with an agent, and we got sanctioned for it. A couple years later, we lost all of our wins in 93, and we lost a bunch of scholarships leading up to that. Gene Stallings retired in 96. He had some rest of his years there. He had some success. Mike DeBose was the defense coordinator. He stepped in the head coaching role. In 99, we had 2 scandals. Albert Means was a defensive lineman that we was wanting real hard out of Memphis. And we had a booster who paid $150,000 to make sure his high school coach pretty much made sure he went to Alabama. But he also was not really good at taking tests, ACTs, SATs, all that to get into college. And we actually was going to pay somebody to take it for him to try to give him to Alabama to get the scores and all that. We got busted on that. But also Mike DeBose was kind of snooping around with his secretary. Ding, ding, ding. That's kind of what happened at Auburn, but it wasn't confirmed at Auburn. It was actually confirmed here. So we sanctioned there. We lost scholarships. We lost, everything. We get a up and coming pretty good coach and Dennis Franchione after Mike DeBose got fired. All these sanctions all going on, losing scholarships. He ran out on us in the cover of night to back to A&M. So we bring in Mike Price to replace him. What happened with Mike Price?
Strip club on a government credit card.
Yeah, strip club. And here's what I'm getting at. The next guy we hired was a former player at Alabama in Mott Shula. It wasn't a flashy hire, and it wasn't, something but he was a stopgap to get past these sanctions and get past the textbook scandal, which also happened during this time as well, until the next guy, which was Saban, once he was able to get all his scholarships back to come in. What I'm saying is, look at what Auburn has had happen here lately. They're firing coach left and right. They fired one of their most successful coaches in the last, decade, and Gus Malzahn. And now you have Cadillac Williams, who knows your program, knows all about what's going on. He could be your stopgap until the next coach comes in. Here's another thing I'm getting at. Alabama's rich history, we could have got anybody at that time when all this scandal was going on, but nobody was going to touch us with a 20-foot pole. That's just the truth about it. No respectable coach was going to come to Alabama when all this was going on, because we almost got the death penalty. That's how bad it got. Okay, so we hired Mott Shula to be that stopgap option. Right now, in Auburn's case, I'm sorry, I don't see a real respectable coach wanting to be in that daggum dumpster fire, as we call it, right now. So you need to build that program back up, and Cadillac is that guy to do it. I mean, look how hard they're playing for him. Look how the fans got behind him. You got a guy right now that can be that stopgap, get you a few wins, get momentum back on your side. Then you can go after a Dion or a Kiffin or whoever, Freeze, 2 to 3 years from now, like we did with Shula. That's all I'm saying. Now, I've been hammered all week about it because they're like, oh, you get Kiffin. I'm sorry. I just don't think anybody respectable is going to come to Auburn at this point. You just keep Cadillac. Let him be that go-to guy. And another thing I want to point out, and I'm going to NFL After Dark here. If y'all remember, just Saturday got hired on at the Colts, and everybody bashed him. But I said, give him a chance. He may not have any head coaching experience, but guess what? No head coach has ever had any head coaching experience until he got a freaking job. So you don't know what he's going to do until he gets there. You don't know what Cadillac's going to do with a full year with these players. They could go 9-3, 10-2 next year. You don't know. I mean, what in the Colts case, if Jeff Saturday wins out, which I don't know if they will or not, but if just say how properly he does, y'all going to be wanting to hire him out on the spot. I'm sorry. That's just my personal opinion about it. So give the guy a chance. See what he can do, because no head coaching experience or not, you have a guy who knows that program and can be that stopgap and get you through this tunnel, this dark tunnel that you're in, and get you back to the promised land that you need to be, that you think you need to be at. That's end of rant.
End of rant. All right. So Auburn, I think, is setting their fans up for extreme disappointment, because if it does come to the fact where they hire Carnell Williams, better known as Cadillac, they will be disappointed, because the news of Lane Kiffin has been shoved down their throats for the last 3 days. And it's Lane Kiffin or bust for them. And that's all they're going to be. Oh, well, it's not Lane Kiffin, so we're going to be disappointed. And that's going to take some of the shine off of what Cadillac does really well. So I think, me personally, I think it's Cadillac. I think it should be Cadillac. I think he's earning it. We'll see kind of how it plays out the next 2 weeks. Obviously, I think this game's going to be pretty successful for them. But, we'll see how it plays out in the Iron Bowl with him. But he's certainly injected some life into that program, and we'll see. It's hard to project, what he's done with this club since he took over, and hard to project it over the course of a season, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, when he's been there for a while, and maybe his message and his energy wanes a little bit. Who knows? He could be a complete grand slam, home run, hit for the cycle type hire, or he could be a flash in the pan, and he moves on next year and they get somebody else. So But where's all this buzz coming from Lane Kiffin though? Like what's going on with all that?
It's coming from the Plains because basically from what I've heard is of all the stuff, we've spent a whole year making fun of Jimbo Fisher's contract. A whole year talking about that. And now I'm hearing the numbers that I'm hearing coming out of the Plains and people just guessing because they're all speculating. Nothing is real. But the speculation would be like highest paid coach in college football, $12-13 million a year for like 10 or 11 years, like $140 million guarantee, which on one hand, that is the most Auburn crap I've ever heard. I mean, that is exactly the kind of stuff that they would do.
Where are they finding all this money?
For real.
I don't know. And if they offered that and Lane Kiffin took that, Lane Kiffin should absolutely take that because honestly, stay there for 2 years until they get tired and turn on you and just retire. And you're done forever at that point. And I think Ole Miss is prepared to go to $10 or $11 million a year, which, I mean, they should do. I think Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss is a perfect marriage. But if for some reason Auburn offers some kind of a stupid contract, and then the funny thing about it is they're willing to go to where he's the highest paid coach in college football, $13 million a year, guaranteed over 10 years, and then he says, well, Auburn's just a better job than Ole Miss. Not if you had to pay that. Yeah. Not if that was the cause. If it was the same pay, yeah, I would buy that. Because I think Tommy Tuberville got out of Ole Miss for roughly the same pay. But not if the rumor is true. But even with that, I'm not 100% sure Kiffin is going to leave. I think there's a chance that Kiffin just leaves Auburn at the altar. And at the end of this, Auburn's having to reset in the middle of early signing day and everything goes on. And they're behind the 8 ball. And all of a sudden that fan base just absolutely revolts.
Yeah. I could see that for sure. Jeb?
It seems like if there was any year for a school to know not to go crazy on a coaching hire, it would be this year with what's going on at Texas A&M and Jimbo Fisher. I mean, I don't see how you can look at that and then think, oh, but we'll give that even a crazier contract to somebody who hasn't won a national championship. I mean, if you were trying to steal away Nick Saban or something, that's one thing. But a few years ago. But now, I just can't imagine that they would do something that dumb.
Well, I mean, like I said, I don't know where they're getting all this money from because they're still paying Gus Malzahn boatloads of money. They're paying, I think they're still paying Gene Chizik.
Yeah, they are.
And they might be paying, and they're paying a boatload to Bruce Pearl in basketball.
Yeah.
And there's money. There's money where I don't know where it's coming from.
Here's one thing also that people need to take into consideration. If Lane truly wants to be maybe a guy in the future for Alabama, but if he goes to Auburn, that is absolutely out the door because Alabama will not try to hire a guy from Auburn. That's just a no go. So if he truly wants a opportunity to coach at Alabama in the future, I don't think he needs to go to Auburn.
I don't think he wants to follow Saban, and I don't blame him.
No,
I think he wants to. I think he wants to be the guy that follows Saban.
Yeah.
Yeah. We said that how many times on this show?
Give Ole Miss a few years and then move to Alabama.
Yeah. He wants somebody else to be Ray Perkins, and then he can come in to be the next guy.
And so no, Jack, I agree with you. Then with all the money problems at Auburn, Cadillac Williams makes sense because you wouldn't have to go crazy on his contract, and him being an Auburn guy, he's a guy you at least trust, and hope that he won't do any damage to that program at the very least. So I think Cadillac being a safe choice.
He can't. He's a safe option.
He can at least recruit. I mean, I think he'll stock the cupboard even if he doesn't have as good of a coaching ability as we're seeing right now. If that fades or whatever, he can at least stock the cupboard for the next guy. I mean, he's a great recruiter, so he's got that going for him.
I mean, NCAA violation kind of problems, but I don't think he would do any of that.
Does it, NCAA still?
The biggest week for Cadillac Williams is Saturday. He has to beat Western Kentucky. There is no way that he can get the job and lose that game. He has to win this game. And then he needs to just go play Alabama off the park the next week. If he does that, you're going to have a groundswell of people that are going to kind of be in his corner.
They're going to the dealership, baby. They're buying themselves a Cadillac.
Yeah. I mean, Matt Luke at Ole Miss, we did the same thing in 2017 after Hugh Freeze.
Yeah.
We hired the interim. We married the babysitter.
Mm-hmm.
And he was an all-in Ole Miss guy, so yeah, that makes sense.
And I mean, if Cadillac somehow beats Alabama, then you will have a overwhelming majority of people wanting to hire him.
Yeah, they'll hire him.
Absolutely. Yeah. So.
And I don't think there's necessarily a way that Auburn can win the game, but dang, Auburn was 2 minutes away from pulling it off last year.
There is a way. It's the Iron Bowl. It doesn't matter how bad either team is. It's the freaking Iron Bowl.
I tell you what has turned this program around for Auburn with Cadillac is he's actually using Tank Bigsby like Brian Harsin should have been using him all year.
Yeah.
And Jaquez Hunter. I mean, he is running down people's throats, and they can't stop them two guys. You know, you saw it last week.
And he's actually excited when they do something good on the sideline too. Like he pumps those guys up. Like Brian Harson's like, he's just got a smirk on his face. Like, yeah, I'm going back to the. He's like, okay, T-minus 3 weeks until I go back to Boise.
Yeah, Brian Harsin is at Arizona State of 30.
Yeah,
no, he's going to Colorado. He's going to Colorado.
That would work. That would work too. I think he'd do a decent. Yeah, that'd be an excellent hire for the Buffaloes, by the way.
Yeah,
it would be.
Would it? So,
no.
Only Steve got that one. Oh, I love throwing those little nuggets in there. Okay, so coaching searches. It's going to be interesting to kind of see where that lines up, where Coach Prime ends up. Is he going to go to Atlanta? Is he going to hold out for a bigger job? Who knows? Mm-hmm. I don't know that Florida State's an option. I think that one kind of went sideways, but
I
he can
say
certainly do better than Georgia Tech.
If anybody that are Ole Miss fans are watching this show, and which I'm sure there are, if for some reason Auburn breaks out a bag and offers Lane Kiffin $14 million and he goes out the door, the number one first call that Ole Miss needs to make is Jeff Traynor at UTSA. Period.
That'd be a
Road
great hire.
Meet. Yeah. No doubt.
That should be the absolute first call. Dominating Conference USA, dominating recruiter, SEC experience. If it sounds familiar, I think it would be okay for Ole Miss to go down that road. Look at his highlights on YouTube. UTSA, unbelievable hire. He's got 2 losses this year, both of them to ranked teams at the time.
Also, Chris Kleiman, if you can pull him away from Kansas State, has done a tremendous job there. That
Lance
covered.
Leopold.
Kansas State is not a football factory. Not even close. They picked a cast off from Nebraska and completely destroyed Oklahoma with him. Like that's how he rolls. So
they've been just destroying people left and right, other than Tulane for some reason.
Yeah.
Tulane got him. I mean, it's that would be a hell of a hire if they would think outside the box and go after somebody like that. I think that would be good for them, especially with the running back situation they have. Can you imagine? Can you imagine Quinshon Judkins in a Chris Kleiman offense?
Yeah. That'd be something to see. I saw a preliminary list how the media likes to put out preliminary list in case something happens. This is what we're hearing, and one of the names on the list was Alex Galesh, who was the offensive coordinator at Tennessee.
Nope.
And yet at that point, I'm like, if you do not know that is Josh Heupel's offense and that you're just basically rolling the dice on somebody, you don't need to be making lists.
Yeah, it's not. Right. Ole Miss is in a position now where they can poach
whoever they want to. Yeah,
anybody in the SEC minus like 3 teams can poach head coaches now at this point.
Yeah,
and pretty much get who they want.
Yeah,
within reason. Yeah.
Although I do think Gillespie will get a head coaching job at some point based off Josh Heupel's offense, which I love.
He will, just not at Ole Miss.
But not Ole Miss.
Yeah.
He might.
Yeah, no.
He might win.
Hiring Gillespie would be like hiring Charlie Weiss Jr. Wouldn't make any sense. It's not his offense.
So when Kleiman leaves Kansas State to go to Ole Miss, they'll hire him at Kansas State.
Potentially, that would be a decent move for him. Honestly,
I think a great move for him.
Let's
be honest.
Big Ten and SEC assistants need to be looking at the Group of Five or the slightly above them, the Big 12, the Pac-12s, that one, because
ACC,
you've got a fraternity going with the SEC and the Big Ten that is almost like a head coach only type situation, with the exception of maybe Vanderbilt. It'd be hard for Vandy to get an established guy, but I think even that'll change. Which, by the way, congratulations, Clark Lea. We've been saying all year they were going to get somebody, and they did.
Yeah, they got somebody, and they got him good. Like that was a 3-point game, but really, like Vandy was in control of that game the whole way.
Yeah,
the entire, which is surprising. They were in command of that game the entire time, and I loved every minute of it. I know, Jeb. You probably weren't. I know, Jeb. You were glued in on that game. So
yeah.
I mean,
no.
Oh, that final drive was impressive by Vandy.
Yeah,
It was really impressive.
Yeah, Tennessee just broke Kentucky.
Yeah,
just broke them.
They've collapsed.
Yeah.
It's they have no mojo anymore. And their coach is like so demoralized. Mark Stoops doesn't know what to do. Pete Sangrinello, he is probably going to F off back to the pros somewhere and be a quarterback.
Oh, he's already been fired.
yeah.
Did they fired him?
Yeah, they fired him mid-season after the Tennessee game.
Mm-hmm.
Who's calling plays?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter because Will Levis is the biggest fraud of a quarterback in the history of.
Must have
I was
glossed
gonna
right
say.
over that one. Jesus.
Yeah, you
Okay.
right, Steve.
All right.
Yeah.
News alert here.
How did anybody think Will Levis was going to be a top 5 quarterback?
I do not know. Whichever draft expert pointed that out there needs to
Combine
immediately lose
stats.
their job. It's kind of like Mike Mayock. It's like, hey, we're the draft expert. Now I'm a GM, and it's like my team completely sucks. So why would you ever listen to me as a draft expert again?
Yeah.
Yeah, he complete reach on Cleveland Farrell, complete reach on Leatherwood, which
Jonathan Abram got cut.
Jonathan Abram gets cut. He was a first rounder. I mean, what the hell?
It's just a
Devontae
dumpster
Adams
fire
is
out in Vegas.
Just immediately regretting that decision.
And I saw today, again, NFL at the dark, but they was talking about, the Raiders have no money to fire Josh McDaniels, so they're stuck with him for a couple years.
Yeah.
Well, they should be. He's had the job for like 6 months at this point.
Yeah.
I know.
They need to stick with him a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Gunners come out and said that.
Right.
You make the hire. You got to live with it for 3 years. You don't get to just do it over and over again. I mean, who do they think they are? Auburn?
Precisely who they think they
good.
are. They bought into. They think the Yellowwood guy's on their side.
Yeah, seriously.
He's not a Raider fan.
Yeah.
It's so bad that Hunter Renfro's like, I'm just gonna go on IR, guys. I'll be all right.
Yeah.
It's like the scrappiest, toughest dude in the league, and he's like, okay, all right, okay, I got a little issue here. I got a little shoulder issue. I'm just gonna go on IR. I'm not feeling it. I'm just okay. Just put me on IR. I'm done.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how bad it is.
Yeah. It's nutso. Can't believe I said nutso, but it's nutso.
It's nutso.
Nutso.
And the fans are and should the fans be clamoring for Jarrett Stidham?
Potentially.
to come save them.
Yeah.
Oh my
And they
God.
say
Yeah.
that Stidham could save me.
No. No.
So
No.
do all the Nickelback songs.
That's not a
Gotcha.
Nickelback song. That's not a Nickelback song. It's a Chad Kroeger song. Come on, you got to know the difference.
Is it really different?
It is because the rest of the band did not play on it.
Well, it's still
But it's a good song though. It's a good song.
like so. Yeah. Things are not good in Las Vegas.
No,
UNLV sucks. The Raiders suck. At least they
very
still have
Nick Cage
casinos.
right now.
Yeah. At least they have casinos still. They probably suck too. Speaking of NFL After Dark and Jeff Saturday and the Colts, man, how about Matt Ryan making a comeback?
He's pretty good for a senior citizen. And when you make the joke like that, and you realize that Tom Brady's still playing, he's actually
really.
chastising
Yeah.
younger players that have already retired for their behavior, like Captain America from the Avengers or whatever. Yeah.
I was just
I just picture Brady just dropping on language.
yeah.
Language, guys.
I was supposed to say if Matt Ryan is a senior
Got to watch
citizen,
my
then,
programs.
then I mean, then
Stories.
Tom Brady's like
You
6 feet
watch
under,
stories.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brady. Brady's out there in a walker.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Hey, wide receiver.
Brown 52.
Oh,
Brown 52. Sam Hunt.
Big muscly arm wide receiver.
Oh, we're going to draft this big
y'all don't
muscly
have to-
arm right tackle in the draft here. Yes.
yeah. You sound like the pervert off of Family Guy.
Bingo.
I can't think of it. Yeah.
And you got it,
Yeah.
man. I can't slip anything past you, Jake.
Casty has a good
I love
point in the
Family
chat. Did y'all see any of the Central Michigan game tonight?
Ooh, some matchup.
Oh, the
yes,
snow.
it snowed
was,
like a
yeah.
It was
snowed like a bug.
amazing.
Yeah. It was crazy.
In Buffalo this weekend, they're expecting between 3 and 6 feet of snow.
Lord.
Are they playing the
And
game in
it's-
Buffalo?
Yeah, I don't know, but
I guess this is my year. I guess this is the time where I get to ask Israel if he's jealous of not living in Tennessee or somewhere up north with all the snow. He hates snow. He lives in Valdosta
Valdosta, he's a Yankee.
compared to you.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
Compared to you.
I'm not gonna miss snow.
yeah. I'm sitting down here. Everybody's freezing during ball games. It's like 81. I'm like, what are y'all talking about?
Oh no.
I'm wearing
cold here.
I'm wearing a long sleeve T-shirt on my walk with my shorts and flip flops, as opposed to just a regular T-shirt. That is how winter is affecting me.
So quick story. It's been the Arctic here in Nashville, and my classroom, our building's so old, we don't have individual temperature control in our rooms. We're controlled on a central boiler room, so they either pump out cold or hot. So it's either you're hanging meat in your classroom, or it's hell's waiting room. Like there's no in between, and there's only one speed of the air too, and it's hurricane.
Yeah. On or off.
Yeah, gale force on or
Yeah.
off. It's gonna knock you over. So I come in Monday. It's like 21 degrees outside. I come in Monday, flip on the switch, and what comes out? Cold. I'm like, gosh. So
no.
I turned the unit off. I could have hung meat inside of my classroom, and it would not have gone bad
Oh my god.
until today.
Who wants a Steve is old story? Who wants to hear a Steve is old story?
I could always use one of those.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went to elementary school at the same attendance center as Faith Hill. When I was in 4th grade, she was a senior, and it was a K through 12. But
And he
I went
walked
to hi-
uphill both ways in the snow, barefoot.
I went to high school. I went to school in South Mississippi, in a place with no air conditioning.
Ugh.
No, that's not good.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
So on these early September days and things like that, and all the heat that goes on there, we had basically a ceiling fan. That's all we had. And we just open up those big windows. You come down to try and let some air and anything in there. It was miserable. There is no doubt why Mississippi was the number 50 educational state in the country, because nobody can learn in those conditions.
Exactly. Like I have people like huddled up in blankets in my classroom, and I'm wondering why they're not doing their work. Well, there you go. In Georgia, at my high school, we had a brand new high school. It was opened the 98-99 school year, and I was set to be a freshman in the. Actually, no, it opened 97-98, and I was set to be a freshman at 98-99. So I come in second year of the school. And it was built on a prison blueprint.
It makes sense.
So it was designed to be a prison. They said, "Nah, we'll give it to Fayette County Board of Education. We'll give it to you."
Add a couple chalkboards, it'll be fine.
Add some. No, we had whiteboards. By the way, we had dry erase boards. So
Fancy.
they even kept the guard tower. They just made it decorative instead of functional. But it was
wow.
I mean, it was a guard tower. I mean, they went, they spared nothing. So the windows double pane didn't open. Like I mean, they were bulletproof. All the above. They had small interior courtyards for, for prisoner recess. I mean, just to sit and enjoy the beautiful outdoors. They had, it was basically. They tried to do a little bit of things that made it school-like, but for the most part, it was very symmetrical. It's extremely symmetrical. All the hallways, they matched perfect lines.
Was it like an asterisk, the way it was set up?
No, it was three. It was three going this way, three going this way, and then a front stretch and a back stretch hallway.
Yeah.
So it was like a
big bars?
big like tic-tac-toe board.
It's set up to look like a prison cell door. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it
In
was.
case you got confused about what you were doing there.
Yeah, and then there's this long freaking walkway to go to the car rider line. There's this big like guard tower looking thing. I mean, it was.
I can't get over the fact that you had a whiteboard. We had a chalkboard.
Yeah,
whiteboards are like a brand new thing. They were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get advanced here. We're gonna give you a whiteboard."
You know, I graduated high school in '94, and left, joined the Navy, did all that stuff. Yeah, and then I went to back to Ole Miss in 2004. So that's a 10-year period. And then when I left, it was chalkboards and the old overhead projector and stuff like that. When I went back to college, it was PowerPoint and everything was computer based. And it was like I just went to school in a completely different time in just that 10-year period.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. I mean, like we had, I remember middle school, we had chalkboards, we had the overhead where you'd write on it, and we'd have like PowerPoints were like film strip presentations. Like, you know, you wheel out the cart and you get this little like rack as like a reel, basically a reel, but with images and not video. And they just
slideshow.
Click. Yeah. Click.
I remember
like,
that machine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you like stick the cartridges in there, you know?
Yeah.
And it click. And then we get into high school and it's like you wheel in the big TV cart that weighs 10,000 pounds.
Yeah.
If it fell on you, you could die. With the VCR, everything was attached. It was beautiful. And I was always the one that got to go get it. Get to go retrieve it for the teacher. And that was my way to get out of class. And
somebody wants to know how old I am. Whenever I went to high school, they were just starting to look for Carmen Sandiego.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Did they ever find her? Was she?
I don't know. I graduated. Yeah.
She was the valedictorian at your high school. Carmen Sandiego was.
Those were the best days in school. You got to go to the room with the computers and play Oregon Trail or Where in the World is Carmen San Diego.
Oh yeah.
Oregon Trail was like my game
I miss
back in the
those
day.
That was after my time.
I was a farmer, meager rations, moving at a grueling pace. It always ford the river.
Yeah.
F them oxen.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
That was not me.
That was
Yeah.
I cut mine
So
off because
when-
mine was binging earlier.
So do we need to get back on track and talk about some of the
Back
games to
on
watch
the
this week?
rails. Yeah.
Yeah, back on the rails.
It's kind of a crap weekend, but yeah, we can talk about it.
All right, so
Yeah.
college football playoff. Let's talk about that. That's a little bit more exciting.
Okay.
So
All right.
you have the rankings. Not much change, which is not surprising. I mean, I think LSU moving into the 6th spot is about the only thing that changed and about the only surprise. Utah moves in at 10. I think somewhere between 7, 8, and 9 is USC, Clemson, and I forget who else is in that 9th spot. I don't really care. But
Alabama.
Alabama.
yeah, Alabama's in there somewhere. So
But you don't really
playoff
care.
scenarios, okay? I don't really.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jake. Bill O'Brien did it to me. Okay. You got an itch there on your forehead.
Yeah, I do.
Hey,
Hold on, did you get it?
hey, have you heard of
There's something. There's something right there in your hairline. I think you need to get it.
y'all have heard of quietly quitting, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think Nick Saban quietly fired Bill O'Brien at halftime of the Ole Miss game.
I wish.
Yeah,
Should have done it.
I
out
mean,
loud.
They actually
They
started
should-
playing good.
yeah. You saw what looked like Alabama football of the past in the second half of that game. Wasn't great. They didn't have the pieces, and they just benched Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean,
McClellan looked
something happened. McClellan
looked
looked all right.
good. I was
Uh,
like, damn, they can't tackle him. They will not tackle him.
The biggest takeaway for me in that game was the defense kind of had that grit about them again. You know, they was, I mean, just ball hogging everybody and hitting like they used to. I mean, just nailing, somebody come through the line. So it was nice to see.
Finally playing physical.
I feel bad for Dallas Turner in next year's game.
Yeah.
He did not come off that well that day, and I'm pretty sure that people are going to have him up on the bulletin board again. There's going to be some cut blocking against Alabama next year.
That was rough. Yeah.
Yeah, so somebody's going to take a 15-yarder to get their shot in on Dallas Turner,
Yep.
and they should. Sorry, Jake. But,
Yeah, that was the worst face mask I've ever seen.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure he did it completely on purpose, but yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, it's just let go.
Should have been ejected at that point.
Yeah, just let go. And like, if you accidentally target somebody, you still get punished for targeting.
Yeah.
That
could have.
But hey, Jackson Dart, tough as nail. He did his tough as nails test,
Yeah.
and that dude was a baller. So
Yeah.
Alabama played a good game. Alabama deserved to win the game. Dallas Turner just kind of played like a bitch. Sorry, Jake.
Hey, I'm just surprised we got the W.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy for the win.
Yeah. You take the win. There's a pass in the end zone inside of a minute. I mean, that's 5 games Alabama's played this year inside the last minute of the game.
Oh yeah.
That's bizarre.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
good game. Zach Evans getting hurt in that game is probably the reason Alabama won it. Whenever he got the concussion and had to go out in the first half.
Yeah, he got the
That's when it
concussion.
changed.
I mean that changes their whole run game. But as you say, injuries happen. You have to adjust. Ole Miss couldn't. Alabama took advantage, and there you go.
Bryce Young, Superman.
Joking.
Good grief,
Yeah.
Superman.
I still think Bryce Young is better than C.J. Stroud. Honestly, I
Yeah.
really do. The way he's carried that team.
It's not going to happen, but he's having a better year this year than last year when he won the Heisman.
Yeah, but you're just not seeing the results because
yeah.
things just haven't fallen
No.
that way. But
But if we didn't have Bryce Young, we'd probably be at 500 right now. Honestly.
Yep.
Yeah.
you'd be in the 3-6 Mafia.
Yeah. I don't know about that, but
He's still be doing better than A&M.
we wouldn't have lost 2 games by 4 points. So
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so go back to college football playoff. Things get interesting. Oregon losing through kind of a whole wrench into the Pac-12's plans of getting in. So Tennessee has got to be Bruin fans this weekend. You guys got to root for UCLA. You guys got to root for Georgia in the SEC championship.
Yep.
That's your only way. It doesn't matter with USC or Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan. I think one of those, the loser of that probably does not get in. I think Tennessee's better than either one of those.
And we were all undefeated. Tennessee was ranked above them. If we both have one loss, Tennessee's resume is still way above either one of theirs. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm rooting more for Ohio State because I feel like that's the one they might have a little bias toward. But
yeah.
The only thing about that is the way I see it is if just say Michigan loses, they're completely out. They're gone. Mm-hmm. Don't matter what the score is. But if Ohio State only loses by 3, they may keep them in because of the name recognition. That's the only thing that worries me.
But what if you got a 12-1 USC with 2? They're going to finish the season with 2 ranked wins. Albeit UCLA and Notre Dame, they're going to finish the season with 2 ranked wins and a Pac-12 championship. Where does that put them?
That's the one that worries me, honestly, because Tennessee's obviously ranked above them right now with the same record.
You talk about name recognition, though.
And if they're the Pac-12 champions,
the one resume piece that Tennessee can't get this year is conference champion.
Yeah,
and I think that's going to eventually screw you guys over unless USC picks up a loss along the way, and your Pac-12 champion is a 2-loss team. Whether it be Oregon, Utah, UCLA, USC, however that thing shakes out. Clemson's not getting in. I don't think Clemson's going to get in. Their resume sucks.
Well, I'm not on the committee, but what was the one loss to USC? I can't remember who.
Utah by a point.
Okay, it's just a point. But in all their other games, they've had some close games. Oregon State was close. I think they had a couple others that was close. Besides the Georgia game and the Alabama game, freaking Tennessee has absolutely murdered everybody.
Oh, no.
So
I wasn't saying that I thought USA should get in. I think Tennessee have much of a better resume. I just think the committee will look at USC.
Tennessee's the better team, but I think at some point, if you're going to say conference championships matter, they have to matter. They can't matter for one and not matter for the other. I think if you're going
to. But this is what the committee does, though. Does the conference championships matter, or getting the 4 best teams matter? Because they're wishy-washy on that.
And that's the problem. They're wishy-washy. They have not set a standard. To me, you get the 4 best teams in. You get the 4 best teams in. I think if one of your 4 best teams, I think you should have 5 teams that are deserving. The tiebreaker maybe is the conference championship, but I think you look at resumes, you look at strength of schedule, you look at what they've done and what they've put out there on tape, and Tennessee has been nothing short of impressive outside of one game.
Yeah, and look at the SEC West champion now in LSU. Look what happened when Tennessee played them. It was an absolute blowout.
Yeah,
on the road, mind you.
On the road,
at LSU.
Yeah.
And say what you want about the lack of energy at Tiger Stadium on a 11 a.m. kick, it's still Baton Rouge, it's still LSU.
Yeah.
Those Cajuns are still nuts.
And Tennessee had to travel down there and play their best, and they did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We were talking about USC and everything. I don't see a situation where they come out of the next 2 games unscathed.
That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I mean,
at UCLA, and then Notre Dame.
Yeah.
And Notre Dame's on fire right now.
But that's the problem. If they do win that out, they've actually won 3 tough games in a row and their conference championship. That's why I think they would get in over Tennessee. But I agree, I don't think they're going to.
Plus they're a West Coast brand. I think there's a lot of things working in their favor to get in over Tennessee. Clemson sure as hell's not. Their conference
No.
championship is not going to be enough of a resume builder. And I could also see if there's a scenario where Tennessee does get in, I could see a scenario where Tennessee comes in actually as the 3 seed, playing Ohio State, and then if TCU wins it out, TCU will match up with Georgia in the 1-4 matchup, and they'll try to set up the Tennessee-Georgia rematch in the national championship on the West Coast.
Yeah.
God, can you imagine
And
any
here's
more
the
of a
thing about it.
nightmare than Tennessee-Georgia on the West Coast?
Yeah. That'd be.
How much those people just would not give to you-know-whats?
Yeah.
Seriously.
And I wish that the Ohio State Notre Dame game was later in the season, because Notre Dame gave them all the fits that they wanted the first game of the season. They're a lot more improved now.
Yeah.
So if they played at the end of the year, Notre Dame might actually get Ohio State.
That's
Well, how do you know Ohio State wouldn't be? How do you know?
I don't know. I don't know that Ohio State has gotten better from the beginning of the year.
I don't think they have.
It's hard
They
to play
haven't.
that game, though. I don't know.
I mean,
We'll see against
Northwestern
Michigan.
ran the ball against them like 100. I mean, Northwestern ran the ball on them like 150 something, 160 something yards. They could not stop Northwestern, who was 1-7. And they talk about the wind and the weather and all that. They ran the freaking ball like 160, 170 yards against them.
Ryan Field.
could not stop.
Ryan Field just
You know.
sucks the life out of everybody. That's the problem with that stadium. It just sucks the life out of everybody, man. That's their advantage. That's what Vanderbilt needs to strive for, is a stadium that just sucks the life out of the opponent.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they need to strive for. Ryan Field.
Ryan Field.
But Corey, if they do end up in a situation where it's Georgia and Tennessee getting in with Ohio State and TCU, I kind of agree with you on the order, because I think they think the Tennessee Ohio State game would just be a lot of fun to watch. So
They
would be
did that.
good
They
for
did that
Saturday.
last year. They set Georgia up with Michigan, even though Georgia should have been the 4 seed. They put Georgia as the 3 to match up with Michigan, so that you would get that Georgia-Bama rematch in the national championship potentially.
Yeah. But it would it would make for fun first games too. So
Yeah.
the Tennessee Ohio
And-
State game would be fun, and then Tennessee Georgia. That's what I want to see, of course.
And even though the game's at the Horseshoe, don't count out bad weather in Michigan getting going in that game.
That's true.
Yeah.
We've already seen them have trouble with bad weather. Ohio State.
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't count it out. Yeah.
It's at the shoe, man. I don't know. That's a mental block.
If
for Michigan. It's at the shoe.
if it is bad weather and it is windy and the pass game for Ohio State is ruled basically ineffective, that's advantage Corum.
Like Northwestern.
Yeah, just like Northwestern. Except now you got a team that instead of running for 160 yards is going to run for 260 or 300 yards because of the way they do it.
Yeah, easily.
Corum is-
I mean, I would welcome that.
It get ugly.
I would welcome that, but I'm just skeptical because Ohio State just has that mental block over.
Yeah,
So-
I think the playoff is the Peach Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl. So wherever Michigan goes, it's going to be a warm weather situation. So their advantage is going to happen that weekend.
Could you imagine a playoff scenario without Alabama or Ohio State? Ooh. Has that happened since we've gotten to the college football playoffs?
Yeah.
I don't.
Where we've not had at least one of them?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Oh, that's
No, I think. Well, I mean, Alabama's been in it every single year.
I think Armageddon.
Besides this year.
I think Armageddon would
Except
be
for
Michigan or Ohio State beats each other. So one of them gets a loss, and then they lose the Big Ten championship game. then Armageddon happens, and that opens
Yeah.
up the door for 3 SEC teams.
Oh yeah.
oh my God, I would love that.
That would be hilarious.
Well, you got to have TCU lose too, I think. So
Which is possible. TCU has Baylor. Dave Aranda can do some weird stuff against those air raid type teams.
TCU ain't losing at this point, man. They're just not.
You said that
They're
in
not.
2014. You said that in 2014, and they ended up not making the playoff. They
Yeah.
were all ranked, and then whenever they did the final rank, they weren't in there because they just rigged it up to where their chosen Ohio State got in, I believe, as the 4 seed. And
But they can't ignore it. Uh-oh.
Lost Jeb.
They can't ignore him this year. They're just in a position where they can't ignore him. They can't do it. They can't do it, Captain. They just can't do it. So, but yeah, I think Tennessee's gonna. I don't know. I keep going back and forth on that. You know, if they don't get in, I don't think they can be upset. I think it's more of a blessing if they do get in. It's more of a okay, I get it if they don't get in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For Tennessee, because they didn't win their division, so like they can only hope that they get in.
Alabama got in without winning the division one year.
Yeah.
And they were fortunate to get in without winning the division. That was 2017. They ended up paying that off and winning the national championship because Georgia beat the dog, you know what, out of Auburn in the SEC championship that year. Then had a thriller with Oklahoma. So I just think, you know, I mean, they were blessed to get in there. You know, Ohio State was blessed to get in that 1 year over TCU in 2014. And then they ended up winning a national championship. Tennessee would be blessed to get in. But if they don't, you have to say, hey, I get it. We didn't win our division. It just, you know, there wasn't much we could do. That's, you know, they value the conference championships this year. I don't know. Who knows what the committee's thinking?
Yeah, this year is the reason that they're going to a 12-team playoff. A 12-team playoff this year would be absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, it would be totally amazing. I mean, you got some good, you know, you got 3 good Pac-12 teams in there: Oregon, USC, or Utah, USC, and UCLA. You got Ole Miss still lurking around in there. You got LSU lurking around in there. Bama, Georgia. You've got Michigan, Ohio State. You've got TCU in there. Clemson rocking and rolling, and who knows who would kind of round out. Yeah, except last week, but they're still in there. If they ever go to Cade Klubnik, they would be pretty good.
Right,
for more than just a play to throw him in a crappy situation and let him throw a pick six and immediately yank him. I mean, that was completely set up for failure.
Yeah, you talk about a confidence booster.
Yeah, you got to be team ukulele.
Ugh, gross. All right, guys. You want to do picks?
Let's do picks.
Picks. All right. But first, want to. This is going to be more on the audio side, but I will give you a brief. A blurb for our video viewers about what to expect. ButcherBox is one of our new sponsors, so visit them. They have a great deal going on. Go to the audio version to find the full ad, but ButcherBox is a new sponsor for Bleav and for this show, so check it out. Picks. We are SEC After Dark. Stephen Willis, Corey Burton, Jeb Beecham, Jake Thomas, the voice of God, Becky Willis, making the picks this week. We got a pretty crappy set of picks here. There's some pretty crappy games just in general this weekend. So if you got a lot of errands and you got a lot of family things and a lot of other stuff you want to do this weekend, this is probably the best weekend to do that stuff.
Thanksgiving week early.
Because you got thrillers like ETSU versus Mississippi State and UMass at Texas A&M and such. Okay, so we're going to pick some games here. First, we're going to start off with them Gators. They're 14-point not underdogs. They're 14-point favorites on the road here in Nashville at Vanderbilt. Jeb, I'm going to start with you. Then I'm going to go Jake, Becky, me, and Steve. That's going to be the order.
Sounds good. Well, I'm taking Florida to cover those points. Vanderbilt had one of the best weeks they've had in a while, finally beating an SEC team. I love it for them. I love that it was Kentucky. I don't know why. I don't hate Kentucky. I just like watching them lose. I know that's weird, but it's true.
That's how I feel about South Carolina. I don't really hate them, but just fun to watch them lose.
I don't know why that is. Now, I would love to see Vanderbilt beat Florida, but I think they got their one this year. That's pretty much all Vanderbilt's going to get. I see Florida covering this out at Vanderbilt.
Jake. Yeah, I think Florida covers. They're starting to look a little bit better each and every week under a coach. I've just slipped my mind. the brain dead right now. But Vandy, like you said, Jeb, they got their one win, and I think Billy Napier. There we go. Just come to me. Yeah,
I blanked too.
yeah. So they have gotten a little bit better each week, but I just think they're a lot better than Vandy, and I think they can win this game fairly easily.
Becky.
All right, guys. I had a hard time picking this week, getting motivated. These are not very exciting or sexy games. So I thought I'd look at the rankings amongst the national universities to help me pick it out. We all know Vandy.
Okay.
Very smart, very cool. They're number
Very smart.
14 amongst national universities. That's pretty awesome. Any guesses as to where Florida is?
Number 36.
42.
27.
Aw.
84.
Ooh, very close, Steven. They're
Number,
actually
number 69.
28. You could have
Ooh,
knocked
my
me over
favorite
with a
number.
feather. They're apparently not all dummies at the University of Florida. But I'm going to have to go with the smarties on this one, and I'm picking Vandy.
They did create
Okay.
Gatorade at Florida, so they can't be too dumb. Looking at this game, looking at this matchup, Vandy is much improved. And so is Florida. Florida, I think, has figured out some things about Anthony Richardson and trying to figure out how to make him more consistent, and more accurate of a passer, and doing more things that take advantage of what he's good at versus what Dan Mullen did was, hey, you're going to run my offense. I don't care. And Billy Napier's like, hey, you can do this, that, and that. We're going to do this, that, and that so that you can be successful. And they've done just that. Florida's hit a stride. Started with Texas A&M, continued on last week against South Carolina. So I think they're going to continue that good fortune. Unfortunately, for Vanderbilt, it's going to be at their expense. But I do think Florida gets the win and the cover. Vandy's going to play them tough for a little while, but Florida's going to pull away. So give me the Gators. Steve?
Yeah, I'm going to take the Gators in this game. I'd love to take the Vanderbilt Commodores. As everybody knows, I'm kind of a closet Vanderbilt fan, and it's really exciting for me that Vandy was able to cover a game. And I told y'all all last week, Kentucky's not 18 points better than Air, and there was no reason they needed to be favored that much over Vanderbilt, and it actually showed. But give me the Gators in this game. Billy Napier's a good coach. I think the Gators will get it done up in Nashville.
Okay. The next game, Alabama is hosting Austin Peay. That is a no line. Mississippi State is hosting ETSU. Pretty unanimous there. We're not going to go over picks on that unless, Becky, you want to give us a blurb about Bama.
Well, actually, Alabama, does anybody have any guesses as to where they rank?
138.
Ooh, close.
Just kidding.
Close. 148. 148.
Mm-hmm.
But they do have a 4-year graduation rate of 52%. So they're doing okay.
Nice.
Yeah, and I will say if this had a line, I would have picked Austin Peay. I'm sorry, but there's no way in heck, no way in heck.
Who's
that
Nancy?
That Austin Peay can beat Bama. So I had to pick Bama this week, but next week I'm picking Auburn. I'm just go ahead and give you.
Spoiler
Yeah.
alert.
Yes, okay.
I told you
All right,
I was not going to pick Alabama if there was a line the rest of the year. So
And that'll do it for our show this week and next. So,
yeah.
So much to y'all's dismay, the Willis family, my niece is choosing to attend Mississippi State University and take part in the genetics program at Mississippi State. She's made that decision. So
Nice.
Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Did
Sounds
they
like an
issue her?
Omicron.
She issue her coloring books, or how does that work?
She gets scholarship money for her coloring books, and she gets to decorate her own cowbell.
Oh,
Oh wow.
Serious thing. Does she know that she has to be given her first one?
No, I don't think she knows that.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like paying for a check mark on Twitter. Just let her know.
I'll have to pass that along.
Eight a month.
Mm-hmm.
8 a month to be just as irrelevant as you were before.
Yep.
Right.
But we're all picking the
By the way, he took out a $44 billion loan to buy Twitter. from Saudi Arabia. They kill people when they don't get their money.
Did he announce
$44 billion, they'll kill somebody over that. And so he needs to be careful.
They'll kill somebody over $44.
Yeah.
Not much less $44 billion.
Yeah,
So,
seriously.
Bold move, Cotton. Bold strategy, Cotton. See if it pays
That's how
off.
it plays off. Yep.
All right. So our next game. Speaking of bold strategy, looks like I'm probably going with bold strategy here. But UMass travels to Texas A&M. They are 33.5 point underdogs. The UMass Minutemen are at Kyle Field. Jeb.
I'm going to admit I don't know a whole lot about UMass this year and how they've been doing. I can tell you that A&M. I don't know that they've scored 33 points this year in a game.
I don't think they've scored it in 2 years.
Yeah, I just
Combined.
I expect them to win, but they're such a dumpster fire right now. And you take that, you add in the fact that they just have not been very good at all offensively and not been able to score on anybody, or at least not too much. I don't see them covering this line. I'm taking UMass to cover.
Jake.
UMass is 1-9, Jeb. But my theory going into this though is I don't think A&M can be 34 point favorites over my high school team. So
over air.
Over air. So I'm taking UMass. It may be like 48 to 10 type game, or 40. No, it'd be like 31-10 type game. So that would cover it. So yeah,
30. I think it's like 38-10 probably.
Yeah.
So I could see UMass getting a garbage touchdown. Becky, what you got?
Well, forget about where they rank. I think UMass is going to look great this weekend, and only A&M could help them do that. So I'm definitely going with UMass this week.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah, you get Marcus Camby down on the boards. I think he's going to have a big night. They're going to try to get him to the free throw line, and I don't know. Wait, are we talking about? What
Yeah,
sport?
this is football.
Oh, okay, yeah. A&M's a mess, guys. I mean, let's just be honest. They can't get out of their own way. They can't keep tripping all over. They can't stop tripping all over themselves. I think as a result, UMass is going to score way more points than they should for a 1-9 complete. You want to talk about a complete disaster of a program? That's UMass. But Don Brown's got them hopefully pointing in the right direction. If they play tough, they can cover this. I think it's going to be a 30-point win for Texas A&M, which is good, but not good enough for a cover. Steve?
Yeah, once again, 30 points. Texas A&M has not scored 30 points in 2 years. They're favored by 33. I thought about this hard every time. It tells me that Texas A&M should be able to cover this line. And just looking at it, should happen. But then you realize that they've played all these teams and not hit this number before. So I think that this game could be like a 24-7 type game to where A&M wins, doesn't come close to 30 points. And I think that is the direction this game is going to go.
Yeah, A&M, in order for A&M to cover this, they're going to have to get in the mid to upper 40s, which is not going.
I don't see it happening.
Then you would need 2 games.
Yeah.
And how much did A&M spend on NIL? Was it $30 million?
Too much.
30 million?
30
They
For
spent
this-
$1 million per point of this spread.
Yeah.
4-8. 4-8.
Yeah, they're going to go 4-8 and spend $100 million this year.
That's insane.
Like the GDP of Haiti, they're going to spend that on this horrible football team.
4-8.
And it's gonna get even worse when it's time to hit the transfer portal. So saddle up, A&M. Army.
Whoop.
Whoop. All right, our next game, Georgia 22.5 point favorites at Kentucky. And I said at some point during the show, Georgia always finds a way to make this one more interesting than it ever should.
Hey, John.
I don't know if they do, but I'll get to my pick here in a minute. Jeb, what do you think?
John.
Yeah, I'm taking Georgia to cover. This is a large spread,
Hey,
and I
John.
wouldn't have done this 3 or 4 weeks ago. But Kentucky is just falling apart the last 2 or 3 weeks. Now they could pull themselves together and really be up for this game. I understand, and if they can pull themselves together, they are good enough to make this at least a close game. But I don't think they can win. But the way they've been playing the last 2 or 3 weeks, I don't see it. I'm taking Georgia until Kentucky shows me something different.
Jake?
This feels like, even though Georgia's had like the big wins against Tennessee, and it just feels like, they need to keep the momentum going and keep dominating like they have. So, they don't need to have a let up. And I don't see that happening. Kirby's too good of a coach to let a letdown happen, especially early in the season, like Missouri. I don't see that happening again. So I think they come out and dominate, and they win this like 40-10 type deal.
Becky.
Nope. This is a trap game. This is officially a trap game. While the University of Georgia has a very impressive 4-year graduation rate of 68%.
Are you saying they're looking forward to Louisville? Kentucky is?
Ooh.
No, Georgia's looking forward to Georgia Tech.
Oh.
Man, shut up. I'm trying to use those little football terms, all right? Back out. But anywho, Kentucky is going to totally redeem themselves this week. They are not going to win, but they're going to come very close. So Kentucky.
Becky knows the trends. Becky's watched some Georgia-Kentucky games in the past. And she just anywho'd us too. So we must be living right.
Anywho,
I think this is going to kind of shake out the way the game last week shaked out against Mississippi State, the way the games usually shake out against Kentucky at Kentucky, where it's close for a long time, and sometimes we never pull away. Sometimes it's like 2009 where we're dominating the whole game, and then all of a sudden 0-0s hit and Kentucky actually won. Games like 2018 where we hit the gas right from the start. Last year they play us tight, pull away. So this Kentucky series can go in a million different directions. This week I think it's going to start slow because I think Georgia's just kind of in protection mode. They're kind of just, hey, let's just get through to Atlanta, and let's get through these next two. Let's get to Atlanta. Let's get some guys healthy. So I don't know if you're going to see as high octane of a Georgia team as you would normally see. I hope you do. I hope that we do, but there's a chance that we don't. So, but on the same token, I'm going to pick Georgia until they show me that they can't cover this. And Kentucky's so broken right now that I just don't have a whole lot of faith in them. I think it's going to be close early. Georgia's going to pull away second half, and it's going to be a cover and then some. So I like Georgia.
In this game, I wanted to look up exactly what to do, and I went to the book, and it was section 703-212, part 3. I think it said. And in that, it says, never bet on a Kentucky team that just got their butt kicked by Vanderbilt, no matter what the line is, against the number 1 team in the country. So I'm going to go with the Georgia Bulldogs on that one.
The book is smart.
Yes.
That's a hell of a book.
That's a book.
That's the winner. That's the winner. All right. So it's a clean sweep for Georgia almost, except for Becky.
Yeah.
Becky's got a Kentucky cover, which they could. All right, our next game, which is probably one of the most surprising lines of the weekend. Western Kentucky travels to the Plains to take on Coach Caddy and the Auburn Tigers. They're only, if I'm reading this right, they're only
5.5
It's not a typo,
points.
is it?
Yes, 5.5 point favorite. Yes,
5.5 points.
That's it.
At home against Conference USA.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I did read that right. All right. Auburn. Jeb.
Can y'all still hear me?
Can?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, jump back in. I froze up a little bit there. Look, that's a pretty big disrespect for SEC school, but Auburn's kind of earned it this year. So, what are you going to do? They're not Texas A&M bad, but but no, I think
They did fire their coach mid-season, so yeah.
Well, and that's but they hired a good interim. I like Cadillac Williams. I think he's got them heading in the right direction. I think they're going to be able to handle Western Kentucky and cover this spread. So I'm going with Auburn.
Okay, Jake.
Much like Steve has said, they will win this game to set up a huge game for them in the Iron Bowl. So they've got to get past Western Kentucky first, and I think Cadillac will have them guys ready to go, and they'll probably win this game by 14 points.
Becky.
I honestly totally agree with Jeb and Jake. I don't see Auburn having any problems whatsoever against Western Kentucky. And just real quick, though, where does Auburn rank amongst the national universities and colleges?
Number 3.
413.
112.
They just squeaked in the top 100 at number 99.
I hear they have an excellent special ed department.
Where was
They do.
Where was Mississippi State? I never heard that.
We haven't gotten to state, have we?
Yeah,
we
we've already passed
We
it.
passed it.
We skipped them because it was a no line, so we're not picking it. But
I mean, we're picking it, but we're not. Picking it.
I think, honestly, I think they're in the 200s, right?
Anybody have any guesses?
237.
255.
I was gonna say, where was Alabama? Because I want to go farther than that.
You guys
Alabama's
have
like 148.
underestimated Ole Mississippi State. They are number 196. They also happen to be dead last amongst SEC schools.
Ooh.
Okay, all right.
So
But-
second,
200s
that
up,
last.
But their animal husbandry department is actually quite off the charts.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
Yeah, but their
Get
white
a degree in bestiality.
I was supposed to say that, Corey. I was supposed to say that.
Yeah, great minds think alike.
Between Texas A&M, Auburn, and Mississippi State, we're just rolling on the ag schools today. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're straight jamming on them like Vince Carter in the Olympics.
Oh man. Cool. We need to move on.
Did only Steve get that reference again?
Probably.
No, I remember Vince Carter like in the late '90s or the early 2000s in the Olympics, like dunking on everybody.
The 2000 Olympics, he dunked on a 7-foot Frenchman.
Check the chat.
Just
We
jumped.
got to.
Oh boy. Cow Seduction 1001.
Oh my god. Oh sheesh.
But they make good cheese
John.
and ice cream.
Oh okay. Well, I mean,
That bounces out there. All right, perfect.
Utter handling.
oh my gosh, Becky.
John? What year do you take cow tipping?
You
Oh,
don't. They're respected.
Yeah.
You don't do that to a cow. The cow does that to you.
That's right.
All right, let's get back to the picks. Let's get back to the picks.
Cow.
Yeah, this is.
101.
We could do that all night. But
Yeah,
we gotta
Corey, Western Kentucky, and
Yeah.
Auburn.
Yeah, Western Kentucky and Auburn. I like Auburn. Obviously, I think they're going to cover this. Tank Bigsby's gonna have a huge day.
I am rooting for Auburn's worst nightmare, and that is a 38-7 in this game, where Auburn just completely whitewashes them and sets up a huge iron ball. I think it's going to look like that.
Bingo. All right, next game: Tennessee at South Carolina. Tennessee 22-point favorites. Jeb on the road.
I think these big spreads have just stopped worrying me. I'm taking Tennessee. They're going to cover that. South Carolina is kind of up and
Humble
down
brag.
this year, but but Tennessee, unless you have an elite defense, and even Missouri had the 13th ranked defense in the nation before they played Tennessee last week, and now they're way down that mess.
Wait, Jeb, real quick. Tennessee threw a bomb on Missouri after they surrender punted to make it 59-24. Tennessee threw a bomb.
Tennessee
Hey,
put
Joe
in their
Milton
backups.
threw that.
Tennessee put in their backups, and their backup quarterback only has one play. That's not our fault.
That is true. He can only throw the ball 40 yards. That is absolutely true.
Yes,
Nothing we could do.
And he threw an absolute dime.
Oh,
he
yeah.
did.
40 yards downfield.
Yeah.
Oh, 60 yards.
Do you know
Yeah,
Joe
it was
Milton?
good.
Joe Milton had more passing yards than Will Levis.
That don't surprise me.
I did know
He had
that.
100 yards, so
Yeah,
that's amazing.
that does not surprise me.
Uh,
Joe Milton may be a better NFL prospect than Will Levis.
Hey, after next year, he might be if he comes back and plays. I'm telling you, he's looking much better. But we'll have to see if he's got any touch on some of those passes. That's what he was.
Yeah.
Joe Milton was made for like the NFL skills competition, but not much past that.
Well, that might be true. So we'll see.
But if Felipe Franks can make an NFL practice squad, I think Joe Milton has a chance. Jake. Yeah, you heard that right. I didn't stutter.
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah.
UT, South Carolina. What's your pick?
Yeah, I'm picking Tennessee. I like Shane Beamer. We talk about it every week. He's turned that program around, but Tennessee is on a different level offensively right now. So I think they cover easily in this game.
Becky.
What's more impressive, the university ranking or the 4-year graduation rate? We've kind of got a head-to-head on that this week. The University of Tennessee is ranked number 103, and South Carolina is 117. But Tennessee has a 4-year graduation rate of 51, and South Carolina has it of 65%.
We send more people to the NFL early.
So which way do
That's
you
why
go?
they don't graduate as much.
Hey, what is Tennessee? I think it's called the My Cousin Vinny Law School. How's that going?
You best check yourself, sir.
My
Check
cousin,
yourself.
Vinny.
Yeah.
Turns out I'm a
Is it-
rankings kind of gal. I'm picking Tennessee this week.
How can Tennessee handle mud in the tires?
It was a 64, and it was.
We have an alumni of their law school here. Let's just calm down.
It was a
Hey,
tap. It was 3 meters from
I
Tap
love-
Dead Center.
Jeb, I would say the send off for Smokey 10 last week was absolutely amazing. I love seeing that.
Yeah, that was nice.
Mm-hmm.
John is and completely into My Cousin Vinny range, by the way. So mission accomplished.
Hell yeah.
Hit the gas once
I'm
you're
picking
in,
Tennessee
time's nothing.
because Spencer Rattler. Let's be honest about that.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the video on Twitter where it said basically like what would South Carolina need to beat Tennessee, and then the whole thing was like a outside church service is like, you need Jesus, you need a miracle, and it's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, I'm taking Tennessee in this game.
Yeah, I mean, have you guys seen they're recirculating the clips from QB1 of Spencer Rattler in high school, where he like throws bad passes and he completely just dogs out his people.
I saw that today.
Hey, Facebook
And
user,
the new
I'm
orange helmets too.
Yeah, I like those, by the way. I'm assuming this is Wes. We talked about earlier on about the Auburn situation. Honestly, we just don't think it's Lane Kiffin at this point. We think Cadillac Williams is going to end up being the guy at Auburn. I think that was always the guy, and that Lane Kiffin was the smokescreen to hire the guy.
Yeah. And of course, the new orange helmets for Tennessee,
Good
Jeb.
point.
What are your thoughts on those?
I was talking about that earlier. I'm gonna wait to see him in person before I say for sure. I'm not positive I feel about him. Like I like alternate uniforms. I like their smoky grays. I like the orange and black that we did a couple weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. It's like great. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
This orange helmet, I don't know. Looking at it, I haven't decided if I like it or not.
The pictures are absolute fire.
Okay, so if
They
y'all
are.
like it, I want to see him in person. So
Like-
I'm waiting to see it on the field.
Like, I think the Tennessee orange is one of the most vile colors of all time, but these helmets look freaking sharp, dude.
Yeah, and especially with the white jerseys and the white pants. It's like just replacing the storm. So it's not too much orange because, let's be honest, Tennessee's orange is offensive. I mean, it's horrible. Whenever they go
What
traffic
is
cones.
wrong with y'all?
I was gonna
That
say,
is the
this
best
is
looking
terrible.
orange that there is.
This is the problem. I can't trust
That-
any of
that-
their opinions because they're
Hey,
bad.
Beck, that
How
is
you do
such
orange
that is
correctly.
Beck, that is such that's a valedictorian in summer school argument.
This is why to be able to see him in person. Because
Candy corn. No more candy corn jerseys.
Y'all are
Jeb, hey,
Tennessee looks
hey,
good.
Corey,
That's just a
Corey, this is a family dispute. You know, we just need to shut up and let them talk it out.
We're like the Homer Simpson meme where he just fades into the hedges there.
yeah.
I was gonna say all the reds and burgundies. Just take a step back and calm down, okay? Excuse Tennessee for being, good looking and unique.
Orange is just offensive, period, John. Orange is just an offensive color. And
Yeah,
the worst orange is Oklahoma State. That's like neon orange. It just hurts your eyes.
No, it's that burnt orange at Texas that's the worst. Absolute worst.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. The team that's done the orange the best so far has been Syracuse.
Florida.
Yeah, that's
Tennessee.
Florida.
No.
Florida with their blue jerseys and white pants is just one of the best looks in college football.
But that's blue on white, Steve.
With like a
Yeah,
bleedable
exactly.
orange.
Yeah, you need as little orange as possible. Orange is an offensive color.
The best looking orange for a jersey
That's
is
what
when they leave it off the jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The best is when they don't have any orange at all. They wear the white
Yes.
helmets, blue
right.
jerseys,
Yes.
white pants. Yeah, that's
The best Florida looks is when they're in the blue helmets and all white. No orange whatsoever. You look at Auburn. Auburn has great uniforms on their road jerseys. There's like 2 square centimeters of orange on their jerseys, but they count it in their colors.
They've kind of adopted copper as their like center stripe color of their helmet colors.
Yeah,
Miami
'Cause-
looks really good too.
because orange is just garbage.
Miami looks best when they wear the green.
And the bra strap uniforms back in the day.
They have the
No,
bra strap.
are you about to take me back down Ed Reed Road again?
And Warren Sapp. And Ray Lewis. Don't leave anybody out.
Warren
You know,
Sapp.
Dwayne Johnson
We're all
also played for
friends
Miami.
Nah.
Becky's smelling
He
what the
ain't
Rock
one of
is
my top
cooking.
3. Moving along, though.
Anyway,
Where
yeah,
are
it's
our
like,
picks?
we don't call it SEC After Dark for nothing.
That's right.
All right. Okay, we have 2. Okay, we're gonna actually have to talk about this game. All right, New Mexico State coming into Columbia, Missouri, the capital city of the state of Missouri.
No, it's not. Is
it's
it?
not?
Jefferson City is the capital of Missouri.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I just learned
I think
something.
he's
Today.
right.
All right, so it's the capital of Missouri this week because this is where everything's going to happen. Missouri's 29-point favorites. I told my kids.
Mississippi education.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go,
Right.
Coach. Said I'd never mount to anything.
There you go. There you go.
Fun fact, I graduated 52 out of 104 in high school. Dead center.
Perfectly in the middle. Average in every way.
Attaboy. So, Missouri, 29-point favorites. Jeb.
Missouri, okay, outside of last week, which you just have to throw last week out, their defense has actually been really good this year. And I think last week they did find a little bit with their offense. This quarterback of theirs, what's his name? Now I'm blanking on his name.
Brady Cook. He's
Cook.
better than
Brady
Will
Cook.
Levis. Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say, Brady Cook actually looks really good. Now they did.
I'm better than Will Levis.
Yeah.
You should have seen me dropping dimes on scout team this year.
I just feel like Missouri is actually going to be able to score in this one, and New Mexico State's not going to score. So I'm going to take Missouri to cover this, even though it is kind of a large spread for them. But that's where I'm going. We'll see.
Okay. Jake.
I hate that joke. Anyway, yeah, I'm actually picking New Mexico State. It is a large spread for Missouri. They are the better team. Brady Cook looks really, really good right now. But I mean, again, are they 29-point favorites over Air? I don't know. You know, this team's kind of a mystery, and I think that they may be like Kentucky in this situation where they give it all on the field against Tennessee, and they got the heart shattered, and they're just going to play like the rest of the year. So, you know, I think they may win this game by 28 and cover that spread.
Becky.
All right. So the University of Missouri is ranked number 122 amongst national universities, pretty much dead middle of the pack of the SEC schools. And that's great. There is no planet Earth scenario where they win against anyone by 29 points this year. So I'm going with New Mexico State.
I agree.
I think Luther Bird's going to go off this week. Their defense is
I
going
think
to.
that's sweet.
I think they win 30-3. 34-3.
There you go.
I can do my math. I didn't major in math either. I think they win 34-3.
Corey's a teacher.
I don't teach math, guys.
Or geography.
Or geography, apparently.
Yeah.
I was 49 of 50 on the Capitals quiz. Okay, all right. We could tell. You could tell which state I. We could tell which state I missed.
You got Montpelier, Vermont?
Of course I did. It's so bizarre that I got it. That's the reason I got it, because it was that bizarre.
Santiago, Chile, twice last year. Oh. Oh, by the way, we had Massachusetts earlier. We talked about that. We used to work at Rivals with a guy from Vermont, and we got to learn what people from states neighboring Massachusetts call people from Massachusetts. Anybody want to guess? Not you, Corey.
Yeah, I can't guess on this one. I know the answer.
I gotta guess.
Okay.
Are they massholes?
They are massholes.
Massholes.
Massholes. That's good.
They will pass you on the shoulder. They will pass you on the shoulder if there is no shoulder. It doesn't matter. They will pass you wherever. Yeah.
Pass you on the sidewalk.
I did the 2 years Boston trip when I was there at Rivals.com for the Yahoo Sports Minute. So I learned a little bit about Massachusetts culture and how well they really do like the New England Patriots there.
Yeah. First four letters in cultures is cult. Just don't forget that.
Right.
Well, they certainly have it. That is for sure.
All right. Missouri, Corey.
I told you I picked Missouri.
Okay. I'm taking Missouri as well.
It's on you, bro.
Yeah. I'm taking Missouri as well. Actually, I like Elijah Drinkwitz. I like Brady Cook. He's a better quarterback than Will Levis. This is a victory lap that I'm taking because I've been saying this all year. And you went from a top 5 pick, Will Levis, to somebody that is going to play backup quarterback in the XFL. That is Will Levis's track in his senior year.
All righty. Glad he doesn't play for Missouri. All right, Ole Miss, 2.5-point favorites on the road at Arkansas. I don't like this line either because I think it should be a little bit higher because Arkansas is kind of broken. It is a tough place to play. It is going to be kind of chilly there, but I think Ole Miss needs to get a little more credit on that one. But, Jeb, how do you feel?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm surprised the line's not bigger on that. Arkansas's defense is good. They played really well last week at LSU, or against LSU. But their offense, they're just not going to be scoring anything right now, I don't think. And Ole Miss.
Right mid-sentence.
Oh,
man.
Oh.
Well, since he's gone, I'll give my take.
Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, I'm picking Ole Miss. I'm actually surprised, like everybody else is, this ain't a little bit bigger spread, but I think Ole Miss is going to come out fired up after kind of a crushing defeat last week to Alabama. I think Lane will have his guys ready to go, especially all the talk this week about him maybe leaving. He's gonna put his foot down, and it's gonna be a hurting on our Arkansas. So I'm picking Ole Miss.
Becky.
All right, y'all. Who ranks higher, University of Mississippi or the University of Arkansas?
Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Come on, Mississippi boy. Who you choosing?
I'm going to say Arkansas.
Commit to the SIP.
Just no faith, Steven. Yes, it is the University of Mississippi. They rank number 148, and Arkansas ranks number 162.
Yeah.
I think that this is going to be kind of a
they
get your shit
graduated
back
me.
together game for
You
Ole
lose
Miss,
5
and
points.
we're going to win. But they also graduated me, so they gained 10 points for that. Ole Miss is going to win by at least 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is maybe easy money here. Take Ole Miss 2.5. I'd be interested. I'm gonna look up the over under, Steve, while you make your pick. I'm taking
it's 61. Sure. The over under is 61.
So I'd be inclined to take. Well, I don't think Arkansas is going to score that much, so I would be inclined to take Ole Miss plus the under.
KJ Jefferson has practiced all week. KJ Jefferson is going to play. Arkansas is as healthy as they've been apparently in the last 3 or 4 weeks. This game has a chance to get drunk like Ole Miss and Arkansas games get. Ole Miss has not won in Fayetteville, Arkansas since 2008 Whenever they beat Arkansas, it's in Little Rock. But Fayetteville has been a house of horrors, and I have witnessed Ole Miss football give up a touchdown to Arkansas on a kickoff return. So Fayetteville, weird things happen, okay? Now, I'm going to take Ole Miss in this game because I need to take Arkansas. I've said I was going to take Arkansas, but I can't take Arkansas. Whatever it is in a situation like that. I need Ole Miss to come through. I need them to do it. It's going to be the coldest game that Arkansas has kicked off in Fayetteville since they've joined the SEC.
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss has a run game that travels. So this game could be 2 hours and 30 minutes long. It could be 17-14. It's going to be relatively low scoring, but 17-14 Ole Miss. Ole Miss covers. So give me the reps.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
hey, Jeb's back.
The voice of Jeb.
The voice of Jeb.
It's Jeb. All right, last one. The John special here. UAB comes into LSU. LSU is only 14.5-point favorites in this one, which they just won the SEC West. Figured they might be a little bit heavier favorites. UAB is actually pretty good.
Your rhythm is like Coach 30 right now. I'm not really an athlete.
Not really an athlete. I'm pissed out my leg. I'm gonna get knocked down on all fours like your mom in a
Whoa. We're trying to keep a clean rating, Corey. Come on.
I said nothing dirty. I just said like an Uncle Luke video.
If you're going to talk about sex, you need to talk about bovine sex. Because John's been doing that in the chat, and we can get away with that, apparently.
Yeah. Well, it's educational. It's educational purpose. Yeah, don't look up. Jeb, don't look that up.
Jeb, don't look at moms on all fours.
Moms on all fours like an Uncle Luke video. Anyway, Jeb. Anyway,
SEC After Dark.
Yeah, After Dark. Kids do not need to be watching this.
Oh, boy. Jeb.
All right.
I'm here.
Save it.
All right. No, look, UAB actually is a pretty good team this year, but LSU's
They're in the Fun Belt, aren't they?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
They're Conference USA, ain't they?
Hmm.
Wait, what?
And soon to be American. They're one of the teams going to the American.
American. Yep.
God, who
American.
can keep up? They're going to start wearing name tags. Anyway.
You're not even wearing a name tag.
Conference tags. I don't know. Anyway, no, but LSU's defense actually, man, they've gotten good here. Well, since they played Tennessee. Last week in Arkansas, they were just scary. So no, I think
Harold
LSU
Perkins
will
is a
do
dude.
enough. Yeah, Perkins. He's just like a sophomore too, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. He's a freshman. A true freshman.
Oh, is he? Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's pretty good
scary.
at football.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no, I think LSU will do enough to keep UAB from scoring, and they can score decently. So I think LSU covers this one.
Jake.
Yeah, I'm picking LSU. UAB, if Bill Clark was still coaching this team, it might be a different story. But he retired. He's got some health issues going on, and I think they've already lost 5 games this year. So they're not up to where Bill Clark would have had them if he was still coaching. So I think LSU gets right on offense after they struggled against Arkansas last week and wins this game.
Becky.
You know why LSU loves Mississippi State?
Because they're ranked higher than them in college rankings?
Yeah.
Because Mississippi State's the only thing keeping them from the absolute dead bottom. Despite LSU's sorry ranking of 172. I'm still going to take them over UAB.
Okay.
Right. I was
and there it
expecting
is.
More. Yeah.
A sudden stop.
Yeah, I thought there was something else. Okay.
She slammed on the brakes. All
That's
right.
something I
Sorry,
did
I'm
not
not a
know.
broadcast trained person.
Yeah.
Slammed on the brakes. There.
Something I did not know.
So, so I'm going to take LSU. I'm going to take LSU to cover here pretty easily. I think they're starting to kind of make their push for the playoffs. So, like if some what hits the fan, they could end up in a spot where they're actually legitimately considered. So they're going to have to win some games by a lot of points, and this is going to be one of them that I think is going to get ugly fast. I think Harold Perkins is going to have a monster game. Jaden Daniels is going to have a monster game. That was a weird result in Arkansas. It was cold, on the road, that stupid stadium.
Shenanigans.
I'm going to pistol whip the next person that says shenanigans.
No, their grounds crew, either they need to all be fired or they did it on purpose.
Right.
They did it on purpose. What's that bar with all the goofy stuff on the walls?
Shenanigans.
Yeah, but you did. Let's save it up for that one. Never thought I'd make a Super Troopers reference, but
yeah,
here we are.
Also,
Good
LSU.
movie.
I'm going with LSU in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, Alabama hasn't found reason to shut down UAB's program in a couple of years. I think LSU is going to find a way to shut them down on Saturday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bagman. Yes.
Oh,
man.
Congratulations.
Yep.
very good. That's excellent.
Yep. Mm-hmm. All right.
Let's do the bowls real quick before we get out of here.
Bowls. All right, here's the bowls. And we'll, I guess, rapid fire them like last week. All right. Okay. For Steve. Steve's got Georgia, Tennessee in the playoff. LSU in the sugar. He's got Bama in the orange. And he's got Ole Miss in the citrus. I've got Georgia in the playoff. Tennessee in the sugar. LSU in the cotton. Bama in the orange. And Ole Miss in citrus. Can't spell citrus without UT.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, boy. Jeb's got Georgia in the playoff. Tennessee in the sugar. He's got cotton, orange, citrus, just like me. Jake has got Georgia and Tennessee in the playoff. We got LSU in the cotton, Bama in the citrus, or Bama in the sugar, Ole Miss in the citrus. And to make it a clean sweep for citrus, I think someone's on the committee because we all picked the citrus bowl for Ole Miss. Becky's got
30 miles down the road.
Yeah. Becky's got Georgia.
For.
Exactly, right.
Yeah.
Becky's got Georgia, Tennessee in the playoff. LSU cotton, Alabama sugar, Ole Miss citrus.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah,
She plays.
I feel like they're going to find a way to keep Tennessee out of the playoffs, but we'll see.
They're going to do everything they can. But that's my prediction.
It's a sham.
I hope Tennessee. Part of me is like, I hope Tennessee gets in because I just think that'd be fun to see two SEC teams in again. And then getting over a conference champion where everybody's like, oh, well, they deserve it. But the other part of me is like, I've gotten so much smack talk to me by Tennessee fans at school. I want to see them squirm again. That's kind of where I'm at here.
Man, you just talk about somebody that went straight to their head as soon as they became relevant. It's like 20 years of I told you so's just came flooding out. So you didn't even expect it from the person you're hearing. It's like, what is going on? I mean, Ole Miss and Tennessee doesn't even play. Why is everybody in your fan base talking noise at Ole Miss? And
Kiffin.
Yeah, and
You started our slide, and now it's finally ended.
actually, Philip Fulmer started your slide, but
Well, if
whatever.
you want to get technical, but he also helped it along there a bit with the whole Jeremy Pruitt situation.
Yeah.
But I don't know where he is to yell at him. I know where Lane Kiffin is.
Allegedly, if you listen to Twitter.
Well, that's true. He might be driving to Auburn right now. In the middle of
The jet's flying out to Auburn as we speak.
Yeah. Good grief, man. Talk about another group of people that just lost their damn mind. Oh, absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, alrighty then. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We'll
Bedtime.
wrap it. We'll wrap it there. Yes, it is. It is about that time. We are the SEC After Dark podcast on the Bleav Network, also on the Y'all's Conference Network on the video side. Presented by BetOnline.ag and ButcherBox. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you back here next week, hopefully with some better games to talk about, and we'll talk about what we're going to eat and gluttonize ourselves with at Thanksgiving. So long. See you later. Goodbye. And go Dogs.
Row Tide.
Hotty toddy.
Row Tide. Who's
Row Tide, Paul.
28? Paul, first time, long time, Paul.